C, Episode 8, The House of Enlightenment. I'm Joe. Please subscribe to our channel. Plenty of other great videos coming up. Hope to have you along for the ride. It was a good episode, but it left you hanging. Answered some questions, but left more questions to be answered in Season 2. The story's gonna go in interesting places, I know that, because they set up some things to be interesting for Season 2. So let's go through the episode. There's the two parts of the episode. The Witchfinder says we have to either kill the queen or she has to abdicate the throne. And then we can't tell the soldiers that their families are all dead. That just felt a little sloppy because I don't know what is he thinks going to happen. Eventually they're going to start asking questions. Eventually they're going to say, where are the messages from home? Eventually they would find out. Even sloppier was that he left Boots to watch over the lady who helped the queen, and that lady who you could tell was cunning, and you knew the queen was already cunning, turned Boots, who you already know was a rat. The queen said she was going to abdicate after some nice scenes between Margaret and the queen. They ended in her tent when she's like, oh, I'm going to abdicate, but then Boots stabs the Witchfinder General. The queen runs him through. And then the queen says to Margaret, now what has to happen is, if anybody finds out what happens to the Pion capital, the army's going to revolt. They have to work together, even though the queen's still the queen. Margaret's going to be her counsel. That's like where they are right now. So the queen and her sister, and I think her name was Sabith, because when the queen stabbed the Witchfinder General, you hear her say, Sabith, what are you doing? I think that's what she said. I'm sorry, don't friggin' persecute me if I got the name wrong. It was said once and I didn't rewind it. But anyway, that's where they are. The queen and the princess, knowing what happened to the capital with an army behind them that's gonna revolt, is gonna press on to the Lavender Road because the queen still wants to have sighted children. She's given up on Jeremorel, who's rejected her, and says, tell me about your son, meaning Kofun. So Margaret wants to go to the Lavender Road anyway because she wants to get her family back. The queen wants to go there anyway because she wants to have the power of sight for herself. And Kofun better get his prayer game up because the queen's coming for you, buddy. And I don't know if you can handle her. She is an experienced lady and you barely look like you know what to do. Don't think you're gonna be able to handle her. Better find someone to practice on because you're in for a world of hurt. The two sisters together, and their interplay is great. For them being apart the whole season, they really gelled. They gelled really friggin' fantastic, the scenes with them together. So that should be a lot of fun in Season 2, seeing them together more. So that was good. The queen's so cunning. You knew she wasn't gonna just give up her throne. You didn't know where the hell things were going to go because their capital is gone. She has the plan. They're going to soldier on, and they're going to go to the House of Enlightenment. They're going to go find Jeremorel. They're going to go find sighted people, and she's going to build her sighted kingdom. Was a little sloppy by the Witchfinder General, just leaving Boots to watch after that lady. And then they left a shot of him hunched over like he was dead as the village was burning down, but is he? And as we all expected, Jeremorel is not the loving father figure anybody would really want. You knew that from the very start when they walked into the place and discovered it was a prison. And what a great parallel. A world of the sighted in a prison. A place that already holds you back. A place already designed to confine and cramp you and limit you and curtail your freedoms is where he's going to start this new world. So that was fantastic the way they did that. As it goes along, you discover he has other kids he's made. Hanawa is happy, but Kofun isn't buying it. Kofun overhears a conversation from some colonel who shows up, and you learn that colonel works for a general who's partners with Jeremorel, and they want the twins, and you don't know why yet, and you find that out in a bit, and they only take Hanawa. So they abduct Hanawa and leave with them, and they're gonna kill Kofun because, you know, Jeremorel just thinks Kofun's a lost cause. And as that happened, as we all knew was gonna happen, as it went to glorious slow motion, they were about to shoot him in the head, you just saw the two guys who were gonna kill Kofun's freaking blood go flying, and there was Baba Voss in, you know, the most kick-ass scene of the season. Him going through the House of Enlightenment tearing down the place looking for Jermorel. We had the ridiculous setup halfway through the episode of them showing how they're powering the place and the water pressure, and the pressure's the thing. You know, for a show that's been very unpredictable and done a good job of not being predictable, there was some serious tells in this one. But it worked fantastic because Jermorel has a gun. He's got our hero Baba Voss cornered and he's about to shoot him. And the lights go off because Kofun turns them off. Now you're in my world, and Baba Voss proceeds to beat the crap out of Jermorel and ends it with, look at me, and then squeezes his eyes out. I don't know if Jermorel's dead or he's just blind. I can't imagine if that happened to someone, they'd just be blind. That'd kind of kill him, but within the fight scene, you learn why they wanted Hanawa. Because Jermorel has an alliance with, I think they call them the Trivium, but he has an alliance with this other army who's trying to build an army to go after the Queen's army. Why do they want Hanawa? And he wouldn't give him Kofun, but why do they want Hanawa? Because they were told Hanawa is the daughter of Baba Voss, and the general, the leader of this army is Edu Voss, Baba Voss's brother. We already learned from this third episode that Baba Voss was in the slave trade. He was a slaver, abandoned that trade for reasons we don't know yet. Baba Voss comes from some kind of big-time powerful family. Mara comes from some kind of big-time powerful family. We didn't know this when the show started. Baba Voss rescues Kofun and sees the area where they know that Hanawa is, which has a lot of smoke and a lot of god bombs, so they have their own sort of village, their own society, their own stronghold of Edu Voss, his brother, and that's where they're gonna go. So Baba Voss is gonna come face to face with his past. The Queen's on her way to the Lavender Road. The family's there. Everybody's coming to this one place. What's gonna happen in season 2? I don't know. One last thing I want to bring up was the touching moment with Bowline when they left her off with the people because she was injured. Very first episode, Bowline was one of the people who ran up and said, "I stand with Baba." Baba Voss hugs her and she says, "I stand with Baba." So that was really nice. I have a feeling we'll see her again. I can't imagine that's just the end of her. That would be pretty useless. So I'm sure we'll see her again. But all in all, the episode was good. Mildly disappointed just because I was hoping for more of a concrete resolution and a happy ending, but I should have known that wasn't going to happen. I'm smarter than that. It's episodic TV. We got to go on to season 2. Who knows? Maybe it's going to be good. We'll have a season 3, 4, 5, and this is going to be my new favorite show. I'm happy I stuck with the show. If you want to go back and check my reviews from the start, you'll see that I really didn't care for it the first, second, and third episode. I actually, in the second and third episode, was thinking this show is ridiculously garbage. But by the fourth episode, things really clicked. And I think it gave me a new appreciation for the first, second, and third episodes because it did a lot of just building up of this unique and interesting place they set up, this unique and interesting world, this unique and interesting scenario. Good characters, it's well acted. The Queen and Margaret, great characters. The Witchfinder General, I hope somehow he's not dead because he was a great character. He had a lot of great moments. And Baba Voss, you know, for the most part, he was a lot of window dressing. He was the star who kind of was meant to bring you to the show, but an absolute badass. Not overused though, so they sparingly showed his moments of absolute badassery. I'm very happy I stuck with it through all of season 1. I look forward to season 2. Please subscribe to his channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed my reviews of C. Love to have you along for what's next. Plenty of other great videos coming up. Until next time, I'm Joe.